Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Story here on my Skalds of Vintara server. I'm just checking through the profits here, just seeing if we've actually sold anything. Ah, yes we do. There's 2 rusty gears for a copper plate. Anything in these ones? No. Bargain bin. I need to fill up this bargain bin. Haven't done anything with that. We've got 2 rusty gears in here again. And nothing in those. So let's come back through to the back and we can put these into our profits chest. And we have 44 copper gears now. I've actually spent a fair few of these. I think I was up to 70 something at one point. But I bought a load of chalk polished rock here and some other stuff as well, so that I can get on with some of the projects I want to do in future episodes. Now, the Hellhammer. There's a couple of things I want to show you with this. Somebody actually asked for a tutorial on how to do this down in the comment section of, I can't remember if it was last episode, a couple of episodes back. What are we on now? 5:30. So we've got a little bit of daylight left-ish. So what I've done is I've uncovered this all the way back up to here so that you can see exactly what is going on. I think by the time we've done the first part, then I can probably sleep and wait till morning, so that we've got some light to see the rest of it, because we will need light to see some of it properly. So up here, and it's a bit awkward to get into this. There we go. So on each one of these, each 4 of these are exactly the same, and I'm actually going to do this one over here because I need to fix something on this. You need to crawl around inside it. So with this one, if I just break this and replace that, that will fix the animation. It was working, it was just the rendering of the animation wasn't working on this, but it was actually turning. So what we have here is on each side of this, each one of these is exactly the same. We have the windmill rotor coming into the axle system here, and then this is connected to a angled gear which just changes the direction and pushes it over to one side just by 1 block, so that each 4 of these columns can go down in a square just like this. And so that's all that this is, and it just looks very complicated up here because it's all very compact and pushed in, and everything is kind of symmetrical up here, which makes all of these look a little bit like they're all interconnected, but they're not. Now with these, if because we have one right next to each other here, what you need to do is actually connect these a little bit in order. So what I did was I had, say I did this one first, then I would have all of these just up at this height here, so that they wouldn't connect when I connect these 2 in. And so I have 2 angle gears and 1 wooden axle now, and so this would be the last one I was putting into place. So if I place that one down there, that one across, oh, you need a block underneath it. So you need to put a block underneath it like that, and then wooden axle onto there, and then a wooden axle onto there, and if you do it at the right angle just like that, then it will connect on. If you're just off to the side, then it should actually still connect. It's just if you have the others which don't have the angle gears on already, it will try to snap to them instead. So if this one wasn't connected and this one wasn't connected, if you add a angle gear onto here, then it would just snap to either one of them, and we want it to snap specifically to the right hand side. So let's take these 2 blocks down now after, because you don't need them, they're just temporary blocks, and then we can head down to the bottom here, where you can see they come all the way down and through the floor and underground. And I think this is about the time. If we have a look at the time, it's still only 7:30. So actually no, this gives me a chance to show you another little trick that I've been using to actually pass time a lot quicker and to be able to sleep the entire night away. If you see at the moment, we are on 7:30 at night, and if I sleep, wait for it to go dark, and then shift straight out of the bed, we've just lost about half an hour of time. And if we do that again, so if we right click onto the bed and then shift click once it goes dark, and now we've come through another hour or so. We do that again, wait for a bit of time before it goes dark, and we can actually get through to midnight. And as soon as we're through to midnight, then you can sleep the entire night away and it'll be light in the morning when you wake up. So let's just do this a couple more times. There is 11:10. We're going through to 20 to 12. And now we're through to midnight. And now finally I can sleep all the way through the night and that will take us up to dawn. So that is how, while I'm alone on the server at least, that is how I have been spending the nights. Because, as I'm sure you know by now, I really don't like the nights. It does take a couple of hours off your total time when you sleep. You can see it's coming up to 6 in the morning now, but that's absolutely fine. Also, to be able to get this GUI up, it is the mod VS HUD, and you press right control to be able to bring up and toggle that little menu at the side there. And now we can see we have hardly any wind, 2.29, but that's okay. Now if we come back out, I'll be able to show you underneath the ground here. So this is probably the most complicated part of it, because we have a lot of different systems trying to connect all into the same space here. But as you can see, what I've done is I've staggered them down so that this line here connects via angled gear and goes across like that on the top. And then this one here is the next line, so that goes all the way down. This line here comes across next, and you can see it's connected there. One little wooden axle, and then it connects here and goes down. And then finally at the bottom here, this one goes all the way down, connects with a single axle, and then runs underneath. So that is that part there. These all run down as a single row, all the way down to over here. And they all get connected with wooden axles to go down underneath the ground here. And then if we come through, I'm actually going to go and try and find some food. So now inside the forge, the 4 lines come in through this row here, and they get split up into 4 different areas. So the first area here, the top line, goes into this angle gear and onto this side of the toggle. So we can see that just here. So that goes into this side of the toggle there. And then the next one down comes into this side of the toggle. Now this may be one of the problems that I'm having with the synchronization of it, which is that I've currently got, say, this one here and the back one over there connected to the same toggle. It may be better if I connect this one here and the opposite end one up to that. But at the moment, I don't think there's any actual kind of wind direction, so to speak. These are all operating at the same speed and at the same kind of the same way of doing it, but there may be a rotational thing which is stopping it. So I may try and play with that a bit, see if that helps at all, just changing these lines over just slightly. So this Hellhammer here is connected with these top 2 lines, and then the bottom 2 lines go underneath the ground here. If I take these bits down here, you'll be able to see that. Oh, whoops. Totally forgot about that. So I need to take this down as well. And rather typically I don't have a shovel on me. It shouldn't take long just to take this down, just so you can see it all fully uncovered. And I've still got this block here just so that I can have the anvil on it. So there we go. And one last one there. Okay, so you can see the two bottom lines coming in underneath there, and you can see they're spinning in opposite directions. The top one again goes up to this side of the toggle, and then the bottom one here goes across to the other side of the toggle. So it's exactly the same as this one here, but it's just pushed down by two blocks to keep it all out of the way. So that is how this help hammer system is set up. And we're actually going to use it now because I have been paid by Nathan a huge amount of iron nuggets because he was building a project way off over there, which I want you to go over to his videos and check out because it is really, really nice. He's used some of the wood, especially the kapok, in a very, very interesting way in some of his builds, and I'd really like you to go over and see that. So I'm not going to spoil that, I want you to see it yourself. But yeah, he's given us a lot of iron ingots, iron nuggets as payment for the wood that he's used in his build. So we have got a little bit more in here. We've still got 85 nuggets in here, but I've managed to make up 6 iron blooms in here, 6 iron blooms in here, and 6 iron blooms in here. So we are going to break these all out like this. It does take a while, even with an iron pickaxe. That does take a long time to break all of this. I'll break all of those out, pick up all of the stuff, and I will put that back into this chest here. And also in here we managed to find a meteorite while we were out at the ruins. So we have 6 iron ingots in this one, which are just ready to go straight into the pile over here. So I'll put those straight into there. Now, I haven't really played around too much with these. You can't actually place them down onto the ground. But what you need to do with these is place them into the furnace. And this is why I've made 4 forges here. And we need some charcoal, because then I can heat up 4 of these at once. And we need the torch, and head back in, light all of these up, and this will make these glowing red. And when they are hot enough to actually put onto the help hammer. So I wanted to show you how to actually use the help hammer with this, and just how quick it is when you have it in this formation here. So as you see, these have now heated up quite nicely. I'm going to take one of these out, and I'm going to just stick it straight on to the anvil there. And you can see it will beat down onto this, and it will take off all of this slag from the outside and just leave the red hot ingot in the centre. Now if you were doing this with just one hammer, you can imagine this would be half the speed that this is going, because what it does is each time the anvil strikes, so each time a hammer strikes down, it will remove a single voxel of this stuff here. And I think it also just removed all the stuff from the other side, so I can't really see it now. But yeah, you can see it's going fairly fast here. And this is only on a fairly medium breeze. I'm only on 0.347. So this is like a third of the speed that it could normally go. So that is nearly done there. We can grab, tell you what, let's stick that back into there. We can put the next of the blooms onto there, and we can grab one out of there. And now that is ready to go onto the pile. And there we go. So we've got 19 iron ingots already. Building up a nice stockpile there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm hopefully going to be going out, maybe next episode, I think it will be, to do a big exploration around the new world, and we can actually go and get some resources from there. I'm hoping to be able to get some tin, so we can get some tin bronze on the way. And I'm hoping to get some bismuth, and I'm really hoping I can get a load of copper, because that's what I really need. As you can see in this other ores box, I actually have a decent amount of sphalerite at the moment and a decent amount of galena. What I don't have, however, is copper, and I've got one work item here which I messed up. So it's got to be, I think, I don't know, let me know down in the comment section. With the stuff that you mess up like this, these work items but you can't use anymore, is there any way to get the copper back out of that, or is that just wasted? Is it worth just letting this thing despawn? That's what I want to know. So we can grab the next one over here and put another bloom in. And so you can see this is actually fairly fast. It's not going to take too much time to get through all of these. How much? We just need to make sure we keep this thing stocked up with charcoal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit here and make sure all of this stuff is fully forged up, and I'll show you the big pile of iron ingots at the end of it. We are now on the last of these blooms, and the weather has picked right up here during the night. You can see it is at almost full. So I just want to show you here how fast this is once the wind has really picked up. So it is stormy outside, and let's see. This is the fastest that this will go at the moment. You can actually as well have another 2 of these hammers going onto the same anvil, so this can be twice as fast again. But even during this small amount of time, you can see, I really wish I hadn't put that bit at the back there. But yeah, that is how fast it is to do a single bloom when this is running at full speed. Now if I did actually take this off, you can see how much of a difference this second line has. Now I'm not sure quite what it will do. Yeah, you can already see. And it's subtle, but it's there. So you can hear it is just that a little bit slower. But what this really does, this second line, is it means that it can run at low speeds, at low wind speeds, a lot easier. So I think when I didn't have this on, when it was just running on a single line, then it would peter out at about 0.29-ish, where it would get too slow to be able to work. But now with this double setup, it goes down to about 0.1.8 before it actually stops. 0.18 before it actually fully stops, and you can't use it anymore. And up to about 0.22, somewhere around there, then it's still actually usable and fine to use, and it doesn't take too long. But anyway, here is the final pile. You can see it's actually got up quite far. We have 36 iron ingots now. Now this is probably enough to actually start building some stuff for the shop there, and we can actually start selling some of these iron items. However, it's I want to try and build up my own equipment a little bit first. You can see I've got a bismuth bronze pickaxe, I've got copper pickaxes, I've got a single of the iron pickaxes. Copy Girl Enchanting did actually leave me a present over in my mailbox over there. Thank you very much, by the way, of an iron axe which they've made for me. I think as a thank you for doing all of the lumberjack work, because I know they've been buying a huge amount of wood for that. But I do want to get an iron chisel on the way. I also have an iron sword here, but these things are going to run down and they're going to be broken. So what I might do is I'm going to use some of this for me, and then I'm going to start doing commissions. So if somebody wants a set of iron tools, then they can ask me to make them a set of iron tools. But I know Shanton and Copy Girl definitely have their own forge and their own iron supply, and I know they've been making their own iron tools and stuff, so that's fine. But for some of the other server members, if they want me to make iron tools and anything, just let me know, and I will definitely do that for you. One other thing I have done between episodes is I've got a little bit sick of these chest monsters. Now this is going to stay here, and this was going to be all of my supplies for chiseling, and so this is going to have all of that. But as you can see, I've still got a decorations chest here, I've still got an interiors chest here from when I actually built this place, and in here these have just got random stuff in all over the place, and I want to try and make this a lot easier and a lot better. So on the upstairs of here, this is eventually going to be my kind of downtime room, so I'm going to decorate the interior of this as a bit of a studio apartment with a bedroom area and a little bit of a living area, a little bit of a kitchen area maybe, and I'll decorate this really nicely like that. However, upstairs you can already see I've got some chests up here. This is going to be my deep storage for the season, and there is a huge amount of chests in here, and so this is going to be the place where I come when I do a build. I want to be able to come over here and say, okay, I need a load of dirt, so I'm going to take a load of dirt, and then I can say, okay, so I'm going to need a load of, I don't know, let's say hay bales, so we grab the hay bales from there. And so it means I can move a lot of the storage away from the barn, which is that barn just there in front of us. I can take out a lot of the chests in there and move them into here, and use that just for the stock for the shop, because I am finding that I am needing to stock up the shop fairly quickly, especially when some people are doing some of the bigger builds. I also have a few fairly big builds in mind coming up in the next few episodes, a couple of new shops, which are going to need a lot of materials. And so this is what this is going to be. This is going to be for flowers and for different stones of all different types, different polished stones, and just so I can have a really nice selection of all of these different things, so that I can just come over here and say, okay, I need a load of purple lupins for this build, and so I can take this over to where I'm building, just plonk it down, and then when I'm finished I can come back over here and say, okay, so that was in this row here. I can take it off my back and put it back into place. It worked really well for building up this place, and I think it's going to work really well in future for doing some of the bigger projects I want to do. Well, real life has a habit of getting in the way of things. Between my last clip and this one, there's been about 36 hours in real life terms, and it's because my internet keeps on cutting out. I've been on the phone with the phone engineers, and they're due to come round at some point soon, hopefully, and try and sort this out. But I've been having problems for a couple of weeks now. That's why episodes haven't been out as regularly as possible. So I'm having to record this just very, very quickly to say this is where I'm going to finish off this episode. I'm planning on a couple of things this week, well, coming up soon at least, hopefully this week, maybe next week, if these problems with my internet are sorted out. I'm planning on doing my first ever live stream. It's going to be a big gathering mission, resource gathering mission, and also going through some chiseling stuff, because I've got a lot of chiseling to do for a very, very fun project, which I'm hoping to release soon. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and click that little bell notification so that you can see notifications of when I'm going to go live, because it will be on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch if you're not already. That'll be Apache Gaming UK, at Apache Gaming UK on twitch.tv. And you can follow me along there. But if you've got that little bell notification thing done, then you'll get a pop-up on YouTube when I release a video saying that I'm going live. And I should be gone for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so, and we'll go through some stuff and you can chat to me, and I'll answer as many questions as you have. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it today before my internet connection cuts out again and I'm just rudely cut offline. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.